New York City is famous for its tall buildings and unique designs. Its history shows how the city grew from a small town to one of the most well-known places in the world. Each time period added something new, creating the amazing city we see today. Early days from 1624 to 1776. New York started in 1624 as New Amsterdam, built by Dutch settlers. Back then buildings were simple, made of wood and stone. Dutch homes had steep roofs and brick walls. One of the oldest houses still standing in the Wyckoff house, built around 1652. These early buildings were practical and suited for the harsh winters and limited resources available to settlers. After the British took over in 1664 and renamed it New York, a new style called Georgian became popular. Francis Terron, built in 1719, is an example of this style with its symmetrical design and classic look. Georgian buildings often reflected the wealth and stability of their owners, featuring large windows and decorative details. After the Revolution from 1776 to 1820s, after America became independent, buildings followed a style called Federal. This style was inspired by ancient Roman and Greek designs and focused on simplicity. Alexander Hamilton's home, the Grange, is a great example of federal architecture. Homes and public buildings from this era often included delicate details like fan-shaped windows and elegant doorways, emphasizing balance and refinement. In the mid-1800s, New York grew quickly because of industry and immigration. Cast iron buildings became common, allowing taller and more detailed designs. Soho is full of these buildings, like the Howard Building 1857. Cast iron was not only strong but also allowed for intricate patterns, which made these buildings stand out. During this time, styles like Gothic Revival became popular. St. Patrick's Cathedral 1858 to 1879 shows this with its pointed arches and beautiful stained glass. Other styles such as Italianate and Second Empire added variety to the cityscape with their grand decorations and mansard roofs. By the late 1800s, new technology made skyscrapers possible. The Flatiron buildings and Walworth building were some of the first tall buildings. These structures amazed people with their height and design, marking the beginning of New York's icon Skyline. In the 1920s, Art Deco style became popular. The Chrysler Building 1930 and Empire State Building 1931 are famous for their geometric designs and spires. Art Deco added a sense of glamour and optimism, with details, the sunburst, zigzags, and bold colors reflecting the energy of the time. In the mid of 1900s, a style called Modernism focused on simple designs using glass and steel. The United Nations headquarters 1952 and Seagram Building 1958 are examples of this. Modernist buildings were sleek and functional, emphasizing open spaces and clean lines. At the same time, New York saw a surge in the public housing projects and urban renewal programs. These efforts aimed to address the growing populations but also led to debates about preserving the city's historical character. Postmodern architecture brought playful and creative designs. The AT&T Building, now 550 Madison Avenue, 1984, has a fun top that looks like furniture. This era challenged the seriousness of modernism and reintroduced decorative elements and historical references. At the same time, people started saving historic buildings like Grand Central Terminal and the Brooklyn Bridge thanks to the Landmark Preservation Commission. This movement showed that New York valued their architectural heritage as much as new developments. Today, New York keeps buildings taller and smarter. Buildings like One World Trade Center 2014 and Central Park Tower 2020 are super tall, Architects now focus on being eco-friendly, using green roofs and energy-saving designs. The High Line, a park built on an old railway, shows how old spaces can be turned into something new and useful. Neighborhoods like Hudson Yards showcase modern urban planning with high-tech buildings and public spaces designed to bring people together. Projects like these reflect the city's ongoing innovation and creativity. New York City buildings shows its history and creativity. From simple home to skyscraper, the city keeps changing and inspiring people. Its future will surely bring even more amazing designs. With its blend of old and New York, New York architecture tell us a story of ambition and endless imagination.